Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope all of you got time to solve this homework question that I had given you yesterday. What was the answer to this one? I only saw one answer on the group. Anyone? No. How about others? What will be the answer to this one for greatest integer function? So it says x is going to 0 plus. 0 plus means x should be replaced with 0 plus something. It has to be close enough to 0, but it has to be so close enough to 0, but more than 0. So x can be equal to, say, 0 plus h, right? Close enough to 0, but it has to be more than 0. Now, whenever a number is more than something, when we find out its greatest integer, so for example, if I want to find greatest integer of 1.01, it will be 1. Right? If I have to find the greatest integer of 1.99, it will be 1. So as long as it does not touch 2, then the answer will be 1. So since we are putting anything more than 0, but we are finding its greatest integer value, right? The numerator will be 0 by x square. I haven't really plugged in anything yet, right? It will be 0 by x square, so it will be 0. That's right. Okay. So now today, we want to go ahead and we want to talk about continuity, right? We've done limits already, but we want to also go ahead and talk about continuity today. 1 second, let me just look into the chat. If it would, good question, if it would have been 0 minus, then you are approaching 0, but you're taking any value less than 0, right? So anyone who would like to try that, what will happen if it is 0 minus? So for example, very close to 0 but less than 0 will mean 0.99999 with a negative sign, right? I am close enough to 0 or even 0.00001 but with a negative sign. Any value. I mean, I'm close enough to 0, but there is a negative sign associated with it. So I am between 0 and -1, right? So whenever any value will be here between 0 and -1, I'll jump to the closest integer possible, but it should be smaller than that number, right? So I will jump to -1. All of these will go towards -1. That is why these are called as step functions. right? So whenever we have any value between 0 and -1, any number you take here, the answer will be -1. Any number between 0 and 1 you take, answer will be 0, right? So because of that, because you're going ahead and taking one integer back, it means that when it would have been limit x tends to 0 minus this is actually -1, right? So just keep this in mind as to how the function reacts. Anyone else, any doubt in this? Did all of you get time to look into Sitzeder and Hammond and look at different definitions? Okay. Now let's talk about continuity. That's right. Yes. The answer would be, you're correct. Continuity. Now, a function, first I will give you the definition. A function fx is called continuous function. In general terms, it's called continuous function if there is no jump, if there is no break, right? Then we go ahead and we call a function a continuous function. No jump, no break. You pick up a pen and you continue drawing. You don't have to pick up your pen back. These are the informal definitions of continuity. But formally, a function is called continuous at point A if first f of A is defined. Second, left hand limit is equal to right hand limit is equal to the value of the function. That means limit x tends to a, f of x is equal to f of a. If this is satisfied, then we can go ahead and we can say that the function is continuous. A continuous means sometimes in exam, they may go ahead and they may ask you left hand and right hand continuity. Left hand and right hand continuity. So left hand, a function may be left hand continuous. सिर्फ लेफ्ट हैंड से कंटिन्यूअस होगा if limit x tends to a minus fx is equal to f of a. And a function is right hand continuous if limit x tends to a plus fx is equal to f of a. Okay. This is called as one side or one hand continuity. Then we have the types of discontinuities. The types of discontinuities, in which the first one we have is called as removable discontinuity. Okay. Removable discontinuity is any discontinuity which can be fixed. If any discontinuity can be fixed, then it is called as removable discontinuity. Jaise, example, f of x is equal to x square minus a square upon x minus a. Now, you will notice that the function is not defined at a. Because the moment I will put a in the function, I will get a 0 by 0 form. Right? The function is not defined at a. But I can go ahead. Okay. Let me know it's once it's done, huh? But I can go ahead and I can remove it. How? So I can go ahead and I can write ye x minus a, x square minus a square as x minus a into x plus a upon x minus a. And this will cancel out and I will get x plus a. So now when I find the value of the function at a, I just get the answer as 2. So we could fix it by redefining the function. My original function is this. But I fixed it by writing it as this. Right? This is called as removable discontinuity. The second one that we have, that's called as jump discontinuity. Jump discontinuity just goes ahead and says, okay, this one. Okay. Jump discontinuity just goes ahead and says that we are taking a jump. Mane, limit x tends to a minus. When I approach the number from left hand side, I get L1. And when I approach the number from right hand side, I get L2. And L1 is not equal to L2. Right? It's a typical step function that you go ahead and get. Right? In economics, when we do price ceiling, price floor, तो ये एक typical step function होता है कि एक point तक एक level पे और एक income के बाद दूसरे level पे जब tax charge होता है. So these are all discontinuities at A, right? So if I have to plot this, if I take this A, up to A there is some value and after A there is another value. So there is a jump discontinuity that has taken place. Now, the third one that we may have, they are infinite discontinuity. Infinite discontinuity means that as your x goes towards A, fx may go towards plus minus infinity. Okay. So once it may go towards plus infinity, the other time it may go towards minus infinity. That means you may have vertical asymptotes, right? जैसे ऐसा कुछ. when we are going towards 0 from left hand side, it is going towards, the function is going towards plus infinity. And when we are going towards 0 from the right hand side, then my graph looks like this. It is going towards minus infinity, right? So I'm going towards plus and minus infinity. I am approaching 0 from both sides, right? So there is a vertical asymptote. Q asymptote because you are going towards infinity. You're approaching infinities. So it's a vertical asymptote, right? But it's a discontinuity, right? Then you may have something which is known as oscillatory discontinuity. Oscillatory. This is OSCI. Oscillatory discontinuity. Oscillatory discontinuity is when the function is oscillating between two values. Mane, it goes towards -1, then 1, then 1, then -1. Right. So it is between two values only. But we cannot tell which value it will approach. The limit does not exist because we don't know kaun sa value ki taraf wo jayega. So these are basically your oscillatory discontinuities that you have. Now we'll take some questions to understand all these topics well. तो पहला क्वेश्चन लेते हैं. You have a function. The function, you should never draw these brackets like this. Always draw like this, huh? I have a habit of drawing double bracket. Ax square plus bx plus 1 for x less than equal to 1. This is a very famous question. Especially when it was a JNU paper, these kind of questions were very popular. X square minus 4 for x greater than equal to 3. Find A, B, and C such that function is continuous on R. Give it a try. Okay, we actually covered most of the questions, PYQ questions of GATE and IIT when I was taking the live classes of the main integrated batch, right? Now, the idea is that it's spread across different lectures. So I have asked team to crop those and put it in one place. So I think we should get them by the end of next week. Most of them we have solved in class, but just that they are spread across lectures. We have to go ahead and we have to crop and put them in one place. For CUET, I have to do the paper of 2025, but I'm waiting for these semester exams to get over because I'm not seeing a lot of attendance in these classes and I need people for PYQs. So एक बारी exam हो जाए semester का, we'll do that in one of the weekends. We'll take them in class. Oscillatory discontinuity. Huh. So it just means that you are oscillating between two values. You're not reaching one of the values. Just if I ask you that limit x tends to infinity, what happens to sine x? You cannot tell because sine x looks like this. It oscillates between 1 and -1. But as you approach infinity, जैसे आप infinity की तरफ जाते हो, are you approaching 1 or are you approaching -1 is not very clear. ये नहीं पता हमें कि 1 पे हम approach करें -1 पे. So we really cannot go ahead and tell that. That's why it is oscillatory in nature. Okay, give this question a try, all of you. So what about other universities? When are your semester exam getting over? Anyone whose exam is extending till Jan? Because this is really disturbing the entire entrance flow. Yes, by 30th, right? By second Jan is fine. I hope that now we can give the entire 17 December excellent. We can give the entire Jan and I mean Feb mein to we rarely have time. But at least you should be giving the entire Jan dedicatedly for your IIT and GATE if you want to appear. जो भी लोग appear हो रहे हैं IIT या GATE में, you should be dedicatedly just giving the entire Jan to that. Stop going to college, please, and give 100% of your time to this preparation. International, not a lot of time. Just know some basic thing. You should know what is a J curve, what is Mundale-Fleming model. You should know what is, for example, the equation of the J curve. Huh? Like what's the Marshall condition there? ठीक है? Then Dornbusch overshooting model. मॉडल्स में अगर इंटरनेशनल में पढ़ना है देन यू शुड नो रिकार्डियन एंड हिग्जर-रोलैंड, ये दो बहुत बेसिक मॉडल्स हैं. तो कुछ चीजें हैं विच वी नो विल कम इन एग्जाम, यू कैन नॉट स्किप दोस. आई मीन इफ यू सिट फॉर 3-4 days, उससे ऊपर इंटरनेशनल में कुछ है नहीं विच विल बी आस्क्ड इन एग्जाम. एंड एनीवेज इट विल हेल्प यू इन योर 6th semester, especially in Delhi University. International comes in 6th sem. Is it in Jan or Feb? I don't know, but my suggestion is that you go ahead and you simultaneously pick up on the entrance preparation. It will become very difficult अगर हमने Jan Feb में भी नहीं किया तो. This only, make a note. No, I just told you यही है बस international में important. Okay, what's the answer we are getting? So for continuity, we require that left hand limit should be equal to right hand limit should be equal to value of function. माने when I put x equal to 1 in this function, and when I put x equal to 1 in this function, I should get the same answer. So a 1 square plus b 1 plus 1 should give me 2 into 1 plus c. So a plus b plus 1 equal to 2 plus c. So a plus b minus c equal to 1. Similarly, continuity at 3 means that I should get the same answer from the function, left hand and right hand limit. So it means when I plug 3 in this and this, I should get the same answer, right? So I get 3 into 2, 6 plus c equal to 9 minus 4. Right? So you have got the value of c as minus 1. Now you can just go ahead and put c in the equation. So if I put c as minus 1, so you get a plus b equal to 0. That means a equal to minus b. So there are infinite values of a and b. b 4 होगा तो a minus 4 होगा, b 5 होगा तो a minus 5 होगा. So from here we get infinite values of A and B and C equal to -1. This is your answer. Is it clear? Very, very common question from exam point of view. बहुत common question है ये exam में आता है. That you have to go ahead and you have to tell what will be the values of parameters such that the function becomes continuous. So you put the function in this one and this, and it should give you the same value. Similarly, you put 3 here and 3 here, and it should give you the same value. Okay. Now, next question, beta. Conclusion. Conclusion is that since I get A plus B equal to 0, it means A is equal to minus B. So I've got an equation rather than getting one or two values of A and B, right? So I've got that, okay, B can be 1, A will be -1. B can be 2, A can be -2. Any A and B that satisfies this equation is fine to me, isn't it? So I have got that there are infinite values of A and B. And C can have only one value, which is -1. Is it clear?